So I would prefer, and we all would prefer, that people would be voluntarily getting vaccinated. But if they're not going to do that, sometimes you've got to do things that are unpopular, but that clearly supersede individual choices.
The politically correct crowd like to say that those who compare draconian governmental measures to the beginning of the Holocaust are anti-Semites. Ooh, how could you compare the two, they say? Well, in today's video, I'm going to make a good argument for that. And if you want to call me an anti-Semite, go ahead. But my friends, a Jewish anti-Semite? That don't make no sense. Today we're going to watch several clips from a survivor of the worst Nazi concentration camp, Auschwitz, to Fauci recommending forced vaccinations to a cute elderly Italian grandma being denied bus service because she doesn't have her phone to show her vax passport. That and a lot more. Grab your popcorn, grab your chocolate, and grab your blankets because we're going on an emotional roller coaster from furious to sad to hopeful. We're going to begin with a clip from Marian, Turski, the survivor of the Auschwitz concentration camp. Death camp, I think, would be more appropriate. Now, he speaks in a different language, and simultaneously there's a translator speaking. Some of you may not like that, and I get it, but I highly encourage you to watch this clip. It's incredibly important, and if you choose to skip it because you don't like the translation, don't get out of this video. Go to the next clip, because they're all very important. So now, let's begin with Marian, Turski.
One day, in those early 1930s, you can read an inscription on the benches. Jews must not sit on these benches. You could say, it's unpleasant, it's not fair, it's not right. But after all, there are so many benches around. You can sit somewhere else. Of course you can. There was a swimming.
This is an example of something not being a big inconvenience for you, so you just comply. You don't complain. Never ends up wood. Never.
And over its door, an inscription read, Jews are forbidden to enter. You could say, well, pleasant this is not, but there are so many places in Berlin where you can take a bath or swim, so many lakes, canals, it's nearly like Venice. At the same time, you can read somewhere else, Jews must not belong to German singing associations. So what? All right, they want to sing, they want to make music. Let them just meet somewhere else, they will do their singing. All right. What comes up later is an...
By the way, many states, if not most states, are requiring high school students, if they want to join the extracurricular activities, the sports teams, to get the jab. It's the same thing.
Really, more of an order than of an inscription. Non-Aryan children must not play with Aryan children, with the German children. All right, they'll play on their own. And then you read, we only sell bread and food to Jews after 5 p.m. All right, less choice. This makes your life harder.
Keep this one in mind. Supermarkets were divided. Okay? Keep this one in mind.
After all, after 5 p.m. you can still do your shopping. And that's how it is done, step by step, slowly. And they become acquainted with that thought, familiar with the idea that they are different people, that they are alien people, that they are the people that carry germs, that cause pandemics. And this now is a horror. What came later was something that developed immediately. Jews could not get jobs, they could not emigrate, and then, quickly, Jews would be sent to ghettos, to Kaunas, to Riga, to my ghetto. Auschwitz did not fall suddenly from the skies. It was pattering in all those tiny steps. It was approaching until what happened here behind me did happen.
Auschwitz did not fall suddenly from the sky. That's not how things happen. They happen slowly. You guys know the analogy of a frog boiling in a hot pot. If you throw a frog in a boiling pot, they're going to jump out. Of course they are. But if you put a frog in a cold pot with water and heat it up slowly, it won't realize it's being heated up alive. It's being cooked alive, and it doesn't realize it, and eventually it dies. Well, they're doing the same thing to us. They're doing the same thing to us slowly. Slow and steady. Auschwitz does not suddenly fall from the sky. So now that we've seen that, why don't we go and see some news from around the world? Beginning with this story. Now, some of you may know The Bee. It's a satirical news outlet, but not The Bee. It's real news. So let's see what they have to say. Stores in Germany now have signs saying unvaccinated not welcome. And I really think people need to brush up on their history a bit. Yes, me too. So these were the signs back in, the Nazi days. Juden ungewacht. And now, what do we have? Ungeimpft, ungewacht. Sorry, I'm scaring my dog. So we're not going to read the whole story, but I want to read this paragraph for you. Everyone laughs when you compare something to the Nazis, but when it's literally a case of German society being segregated, with hatred being projected towards one group on signs that ban them from stores, I think there's a case to go full-blown red alert on this sucker. My friend, Joe Abbott. I agree. So let's start watching clips from around the world and see what's really going on. This is Germany. The jabbed and unjabbed are separated with a fence in the supermarket. So it's not like he said it was back in Nazi Germany where it was only after 5 p.m. But this is a start, a slow start. In Latvia, a fence is protecting the vaccinated from the unvaccinated in a supermarket. Nazi measures to stop the spread of airborne virus in the supermarket. Does this make sense to anyone? Airborne virus? The little cones? By the way, I didn't point it out before. Do you think it doesn't go through the little fence? This doesn't make any sense. Look at this. Russia. Romania. Unvaccinated people cannot access stores selling non-essential goods. It's the same thing in Australia, as you can see here.
No. You're kidding me, right? You must be kidding me. To go in bunny.
You gotta eat double vaxxed, mate. Well, double vaxxed for now. I'm sure at this point it's the booster. And then the Pfizer CEO came out and said for Omicron, you're gonna need 4 total shots. The first 2 originals, the booster, and then the Omicron booster. But let's keep going with Australian. By the way, I like the accent. People say it's the worst English accent. I disagree. I like it.
Did this coming? Saturday.
So most retail sectors you need to be double vaccinated before.
So do you know what? Retail? Everywhere.
So I know Kmart, Target, supermarkets don't have to, but most retail sectors, from the government direction, is that you need to be double vaccinated.
So you're kidding me. You must be kidding me, right?
Mate, it's the government, it's not us.
Yeah, I know it's the government.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah, but he shouldn't.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Why not?
The government is tyrannical, draconian, and disgusting. But it's the people complying that are the problem. If you stop complying, the draconian measures would stop because the government is made out of people and the army is made out of people. And the people who enforce are the people. Stop complying. Let's keep going with around the world. My dog is here begging for attention. Budapest, Hungary, a fence around. More fences. None of this makes sense. And this, in Luxembourg, is the only way to get into a Christmas market without a vaccine passport. Look, I'd never advocate for violence. I hope nobody got hurt here. But, no buts. Never violence. If nobody got hurt here, then this is a good thing. If people got hurt, then I don't advocate for it. But we can't allow the government to do these things. We just can't do it. More fences, more dumbass fences. But let's move on to this one. This one broke my heart because, of course this little Italian lady doesn't have her.
Che passa signora? Il certificato, quello del Covid, ha fatto il vaccino signora? Sì? Me lo mostra, c'ha un certificato per il vaccino.
Ma io non c'ho nulla, io sono solo fatto il vaccino.
He's saying, are you vaccinated? She's like, yes. And then he's like, me lo mostra certificato, which means, show me your certificate.
Basta. A me ringrazio, vuol dire che andrò dal dottore e mi farò fare. Tanto dove lo devo far fare? Sulla carta d'identità?
No, guardi, le stampano un foglio. Ora, lei immagino che abbia un cellulare un po' più vecchio, perché sui cellulari nuovi glielo mandano direttamente sul cellulare e quindi se lo teneva lì.
He's saying, lo mandano direttamente sul cellulare. He's saying, they send it directly to your cell phone.
Se lo può stampare tranquillamente un cartaceo, se lo fa stampare dal suo medico.
And they can give her a card, but she has to ask for it. She doesn't have her phone, so she can't get on the bus. Let's see what Dr. Jordan Peterson has to say. Always good to listen to him. Police interrogating people regarding their medical history. Hard on the police. Hard on everyone. Not helpful. Not good. Not right. Correct.
Not exempt. I'm exempt, so I don't need a mask. So mind your business, yeah? Mind your business. You don't need to ask me if I'm exempt. No, you don't need to ask me. It's not your business.
What I'm going to do with you now, yeah? I'm going to ask you why you're exempt in terms
You don't need to worry. It's my medical history. I'm not asking your medical history. So don't worry. No, you won't. No, you won't. I'll be going. No, you won't. You don't even have your mask on properly. Look at this guy. He's got his nose out and he's trying to tell me to wear a mask more than a subway when I'm exempt for asthma. So mind your business.
Listen to me.
And let me go on my journey.
Right, stay there.
You're saying to me you're not wearing a mask. You weren't even wearing a mask in the first place.
Look at that. He's right. They weren't even wearing a mask in the first place. And then he wears it like that. Let the guy go. He's on his way.
A minute, right, you're under arrest. For not wearing a mask.
Under arrest for wearing a mask.
Under arrest for not wearing a mask. Disgusting. Disgusting. Are you okay with this? Come on, seriously. Are you okay with this? With the police saying, hey, show me your papers. Papers, please. German police detain an elderly woman who didn't have her vax passport. This scene looks eerie. I watched this and keep your ears open. Seriously. If you weren't getting Nazi vibes before, how about now?
Lassen Sie Ihre Hand los. Muss man ihr das Handgelenk brechen?
Who's filming this? If it's like her grandkids, how could they even just let this happen? I know I would get arrested, but I would get in between them. Don't hold on to my grandma like that, you sick Nazi piece of shit. My goodness.
Ist doch gespannt, haltet die Frau da vorne und macht das Ganze, die rennt euch nicht davon. Diese 18-jährige Frau.
You see how the police is positioning themselves so she can't film? They do the same thing here in the States.
Hört auf damit. So, das ist doch gespannt, was ihr vollzieht. Und guck mal, in der Stadt vorbei.
Look at that guy. Grabbing onto an elderly woman pointing at her affair. Who raised this guy? I don't want to watch the rest. You get the idea. Last, we've done our journey around the world. Now let's come back to the States and listen to Fauci, Dr. Fauci.
There's so much opposition now in Congress and across the states, even in Democratic states, Governor Whitmer in Michigan and other places. This is becoming just a political test, and the outlook is not at all a sure thing in the court system. Is there any thought of backing off of that and trying to avoid, all the outcry against it?
Yeah, but, Andrew, we really have to get people vaccinated. I mean, I understand, and we all understand, how people do not like to be told what to do. They want to make their own choice and their own free will. I get that, and I respect that. But these are unusual times. And you can't think only of yourself and your own personal opinion, but you've got to think about your communal responsibility to get yourself and your family, and indirectly then the community, protected. So I would prefer, and we all would prefer, that people would be voluntarily getting vaccinated. But if they're not going to do that, sometimes you've got to do things that are unpopular, but that clearly supersede individual choices.
Unpopular? This guy wants to force your vaccine on your shoulder, and it's unpopular. Your freedoms don't matter in times of pandemic. Unpopular? How about unconstitutional? How about tyrannical, draconian?
Directed predominantly at the communal good. And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about requirements.
I hate his face. I hate his face. Last, I'm going to show you why you should be following me on Twitter. You're missing the party. For example, today, Jack Posobiec, probably the best Twitter follow out there, tweeted this. A billionaire oligarch bought the DAs in nearly every major city, causing death and destruction across the country, and we aren't allowed to talk about it. He's talking about George Soros. So this guy posted this picture of George Soros. And what did I do? I commented on the picture, and I said, is this Lori Lightfoot? And look at that. 310 likes, 7 retweets, 17 comments. Am I famous? Looks like it. I even got 2 followers out of it. So you should be following me on there too. You're missing all the fun. And that's it for today. But what do you think? Is it anti-Semitic to compare the draconian measures to the beginnings of the Holocaust? And I forgot to show. Well, I did show it in this video because I showed it in the last few videos. Australia has concentration camps. They're not death camps. They're not death camps. They're not work camps. They're concentration camps where people are concentrated for a particular reason, against their will, of course. It's the most important factor. So what do you guys think? Is it anti-Semitic? Is it not? Comment down below. And what do you guys think of what's going on? Should we accept Fauci's logic? Well, your freedoms are important, but the communal good is more important. Wrong. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that thing. Follow me on Twitter, BitChute, Odyssey Minds. I'm everywhere. Wherever you look, Gaston the Ginger will be there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. It's the most valuable resource we have. Have a good day. I'll see you next time.